everyone, how's it going? So I thought I'd make a quick detailed video with just the Model X. I know there's been a lot of hype with the Model 3 and interest with the Model 3, but for some people it's not practical because of the smaller size. With the Model X, if you have a family or you have a lot of cargo you like to haul around all the time, consider having the Model X on top of your list if you're looking for EVs only. It's definitely a unique vehicle. Getting into a Model X is a absolutely different experience in comparison with any other vehicle, including other Tesla. All the doors are automatic, they close automatically, and of course, you can manually close it if you want to, with the exception of Falcon door. And in the Model X, all the materials looks and feel very premium in comparison with the Model 3. And you do have that display behind the steering wheel, which I think is very useful. Some Model 3 owners might argue that it's not necessary, they're good with one display. But having this additional display, it keeps your eye on the road and you can adjust things on here, just like your media, and you can scroll them either on the display behind the steering wheel or using the center huge display on your dash there. And again, you have the same function as you would see in the Model 3. So they streamline how they have all this setting layout to be the same across all their current vehicle. And of course, you can adjust your audio setting. And in addition, if you want to, let's say, look at other apps within the display behind your steering wheel, you can push in the scroll wheel and toggle up and down. There's a clock, you can see your energy, so your trip information, and also your car status, your tire status. In addition, navigation will show here automatically, despite what you have here once you have your auto navigation on. And on the right side of the display, you also have the same function. You can't have the same thing as you have on the left side, but again, you have all the same options as you would see on the left side, just show there. So I usually have it on energy. And also on the right side of the steering wheel, you have a function where you can control the fan speed, display brightness, and then make phone calls. So on the top, you have your voice command. So let's say you want to play some music. You can just say play Danger Zone and it will pop up. And the CPU is very quick in this latest Model X. They updated the hardware with the recent production, I believe starting Q2 of this year and onward. So it has the same CPU, I believe, as the Model 3, so it's very snappy. It's not as slow or sluggish before, and the voice command is also more subtle. So here's a column where you can control your windshield wiper, windshield fluid. Also, you can turn on and off your I-beam. It's also serve as your signal. And then below stock, you have your autopilot and cruise control column, and behind it, you have your steering wheel adjustment. So for the distance of the vehicle in front of you, you can adjust it between 1 and 7 vehicle. So on the right side, you also have your drive column, just like the Model 3, very familiar. And other buttons on the center display, you have your hazard light on the left side of the display there. And you actually have a physical button for your glove box instead of in the electronic display like the Model 3. So we do enjoy this front windshield that goes all the way up past above your headliner, and it just feels very futuristic and it gives you a vibe that you're in a cockpit. So below you have a couple cup holders. So these are adjustable cup holders, so you can put huge Slurpee in here. You also have a couple cup holders underneath the armrest here. I hardly use this because it gets in the way of my armrest. And you also have your charger, your phone charger right there between the two cup holders. And on the display, you have a more snappier display, which includes now the latest CPU. I do have the latest firmware version 9 navigate on the autopilot, which include Max autopilot. And then physical button on the doors, you have Mercedes-Benz mirror adjustments as well as rear mirror. I like these feel better than the current one that are in-house built in the Model 3. It just feels more premium. And the headliner, those are leather Alcantara. You do have lights, ambient lighting here, 5 for the front, so 2 for the front seat and 3 for the rear seat. You can manually turn this on and off by pushing on it or on the display. You also have those 2 LED lights for the third row as well, and those you can manually turn on and off by pushing on it or electronically through the display. The huge front windshield, you wonder how we cover the sun if it's in your face. You do have this visor on the left side that is magnetic. You just magnetize it to the rear mirror there, and you can actually double the size here if the sun gets too intense. I hardly use this because I wear sunglasses. And behind this, you also have a vanity mirror. So the vanity mirror has a light. So I still have ceramic wrap here, so I haven't used this. This is how new this Model X is. And again, the touch feels very premium. It's actually Alcantara material. You also have one on the right there, of course. So that's how it looks. So again, here's the display. I'm going to open all the doors. As I mentioned, everything is electronic. Even your passenger front door. So if you have a date, you can open the door for your date and close it for your date without having to get out. Some perks about owning a Model X. So even if you don't have a family, you can find that partner with your Model X and then start a family. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed with these doors fully open. It does get a lot of attention, so just beware, be humble about it. And to close it, you just use your key fob and click on it 3 times on the roof. And it closes all the door trunk. So I do have the 22 performance wheels here. It just looks better in my taste. Of course, efficiency drops a little bit, but that's okay. And here is how the Falcon wing door opens. It opens pretty fast now with the latest firmware update. I know it's already been fast in previous firmware, but it just feels a lot faster now. And this is how it looks like on the second row. So I do have the 6-seat configuration, so I can just easily slide back to the third row here. So that's the convenient about the 6th row. You can slide through the center without having to move the seats. And in the second row, you do have 2 USB. So 2 USB port right here for each of the seats. And then you have 2 vents in the center, and you also have each individual vent for the B pillar. So very nice, very customized. And to close it, you just hit that bottom Falcon enclosed door. So the button is newer now. It doesn't have that silver lever like before. It's easier to use for those that are not familiar with the Model X. And for the third row seat, you do have 1 USB plug there, so you will have to share that with one of the passenger. And as you can see, I have a child seat rear facing there. Lots of space. So let's go to the other side and see how that looks like. But before we move over there, let's take a look at the rear cargo space. So the cargo is very deep. For basic grocery needs, we hardly have to fold the third row seat forward or down, I mean. And this is how it looks like from the rear. And we usually have 1 seat down just in case if we have big boxes that we purchase. But usually a 5-seater configuration would be good enough for us, but we wanted that flexibility to be able to carry a 6-passenger. So you do have a couple hooks here on the rear. And you also have a couple hooks on the third row seat. Let me see if I can get this cover up. So there's another couple hooks there. And I have this protective cover. It's a vegan material, so it just gives it more of a premium look. You do have a couple vents here in the third row seat. You only get this if you opt for the 6 or 7 seat. So there's 2 fan blowing. So this might be the deal breaker to get more cool air in the rear, because it does get pretty hot back here if you don't have that vent on. So let me show you how it is with a rear facing child seat. So this is a recurl seat, so it's a lot bigger than your normally child seat, and it takes up a lot more space. So therefore you lose some leg room for the front passenger seat. As you can see here, the seat is fully moved back for the second row. And you can see there's only a couple inches there between the front passenger seat. And the front passenger seat is fully moved forward. And again, the reason for this is because we have the recurl child seat. If you get a standard child seat, then you probably have maybe a few more inches there. So let me move this third row seat, the 6 seats up, and I'll show you guys how it looks like from the rear. So with 6 seats up from the back, I get a lot of comments from passengers I take that sit on the third row that it feels very futuristic and that it seems like they're sitting in a spaceship or some sort of airplane cabin, a private airplane. And with the ultra wide seats, it just even looks better and enhances the feel of a futuristic vehicle. So there you guys have it. That's how it looks like from the rear. And last but not least, there's more cargo space, which is the front. So let me show you guys how it looks like. It's actually the biggest front in the current Tesla lineup right now. So I have a lot of junk in here, a lot of grocery bag, a stroller, the top windshield cover, a couple other things, the tow gate, emergency kits, tire change kit, etc. And I do have a full wrap with expel here, so putting my hands in here, even when it's fully full of grease, dust, or whatever, it won't scratch it. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful in helping you guys determine whether the Model X is right for you.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Catch y'all next time.